Hey guys, and welcome back. When we last left off, we were talking to Dr. Mobius. Intelligence 7, a minor detail, but a snake devouring its own tail is Ouroboros, not Ouroboreus.
Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do.
Yes. If you lobotomized the think tank, why terrorize them?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change.
I see.
Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up,
Yes, I can see.
then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
But there must have been other signs of a larger world.
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps.
I see.
See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
Go on. Perception. The only wrinkle is the one that the bullet made going into my brain pan.
Yes, very good.
Ah.
I should have mentats ingest you instead of the other way around.
Huh.
Mentats. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal. Yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the autodoc in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem. And the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
Sorry guys, I seem to have descended into a sneezing fit. So if I don't get my brain back in my head, I can't leave, ever.
Oh no. I doubt your brain would be so unreasonable. It already knows the trick of it, you see. Doesn't need to be in a host body at all.
Really?
If you become friends or exist in an uneasy truce with weapons aimed at each other, it would unlock the fence for you.
I see.
Once the think tank was dealt with, of course.
What?
Your brain is a responsible sort. Doesn't want mad scientists running around everywhere.
Ugh. Right, Klein said they had the idea to get the three technologies after your broadcast. Coincidence?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea,
Herbal
and
tea?
luck. So watch it, potty mouth. My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me.
Okay.
And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
Okay, so he's the mastermind behind everything anyway. And he actually does seem fairly smart, apart from his fumbling of the English language. What? Was there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcast?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator.
Okay.
And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer.
Really?
In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get
Pretty
them.
sure you're thinking of the Wizard of
It won't
Oz.
stop the think tank either.
Okay, was there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcast?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them.
Okay.
You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
Okay, but the think tank downloaded the schematics, not the items. They can rebuild them.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
Oh, I was curious about some things.
Yes, this is getting interesting. You are just filled with these little slices of curiosity, aren't you?
I guess. Oh. Time for me to go. Goodbye.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat, then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
Yes, I'll be sure to. Okay. He was actually fairly interesting. Right, and we've got that weird shit happening
I do so
sound as well, but I don't know what it was really doing. Is this? Ah, there's our brain. Well, okay.
Well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland.
Uh-huh.
And where have we been? Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Kind of. This is too weird. I'll be back later. Are you my brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
Yes, please. Why are you such a dick?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge.
Well, you kind of
And have
are.
we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave?
Well,
Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
of course you're responsible. You're my brain. Oh, come on. That stuff's fun.
Fun? Fun? Is tetanus fun? Is rickets? What about sepsis, huh? Enjoy that, do we? The things you do with our body are suicidally dangerous.
Yep.
And if you could silence your glandular impulses, you would hear me screaming at you!
Really? Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get back in my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion.
Yes.
In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
But what about the good things? What about a cool breeze on your cheek, the smell of food, love?
Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
Isn't it just true that you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
So, we're at an impasse. I can't feel what I feel, and I can't think. What? So, we're at an impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think the way you think.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
I think we have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
So what do you say, Brain? Join me for some more wild adventures?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem.
Oh,
Even
goody.
if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here.
I
We
see.
would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Well, why? They promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted?
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground.
Yes.
That is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
Oh. Well, actually, they do seem kind of terrible. What's so bad about letting the brains out? They don't seem that terrible. Yes, they bloody do. You're a part of me. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
If the think tank won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them.
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose
right.
now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Okay. Nice, leveled. Yeah, looks like we're going to go kick their asses. That sounds good to me. 17 skill points. I'm very sniffly at the moment. I apologise. Medicine? Let's get our medicine up, definitely. Let's get lockpick and science are the most important ones, and they're locked in. Barter is good. Explosives is only a good thing. Sneak, I can't see too much point in that. Melee weapons have also been very, very handy. I'm not sure about the repair skill, you know. Although, we do need to get our repair up. Because the repair skill will eventually allow us to get the jury rigging perk. And we go with melee weapons for the last little nugget. Okay. Right. Let's go get our brain in our head. That was kind of weird with the brain, and I kept thinking that the brain actually sounded like Stewie from Family Guy. Okay, let's get out of here. Now, Dr. Mobius doesn't seem to be a bad guy. He seems okay. Now, I'm not sure what bonus the heart is giving us, but we're definitely going to keep our robotic back because that allows us to carry more stuff and makes us stronger. So that's pretty damn good. Right, let's get out of here. Finally. Alright. Back to the think tank. We're going to go back. Look at that. We have a strength of 10. Why do we have a strength of 10? Is that because we're still using buff out, I think, aren't we? Yep, the buff out is still in full effect. Actually, you know what, guys? Buff out lasts a long time. I'm going to quickly move before it runs out. And I like the way you can actually kind of use that trick still. You can, kind of like in Oblivion, if you're over your weight limit, you can take something that temporarily boosts your weight limit and then you can just quick travel to a shop. I like that. Let's sell some stuff. Now, I don't really know what we have. We can sell... Oh, wow. You know what? Yes. Yes, we could really use 4,500 caps. Okay. Stealth suit, not hugely a fan of. We'll keep the advanced radiation suit, just in case we have to go anywhere that's radioactive, which I'm guessing eventually we will. Yeah, vodka can go. Now, yeah, the music is not playing right. It's got to be a bug. It has to be a bug. Oh, I was going to say 357, 450 rounds. No, that's just the cases. Keep the cups. We'll feed them to our little friend. Get rid of that. Fishing batteries can go. Sure. Night Stalker blood. I think we will hold on to that for the time being. SIGs can go. 17 of those puppies too. Scrap metal, scrap electronics, pre-war cash. Okay, cool. Got lots of ammo that we don't use, but I don't want to sell ammo because we will eventually use these things, I'm sure. Now, what do you have that you can trade to us? Stim packs would be wonderful. Doesn't look like it. Got some Radaway. Don't really need Radaway though. What about ammo? What ammo do you have? You know what we could really use? Some 40mm grenades. Got 50 BMGs, some big puppies. You don't really have anything that uses the BMG round though. Start at the top and work. You've got 308 rounds. Yes. We'll take the armor piercers too, sure. 357s, we'll take those. Hollow points. I'm never sure, you know, whether, like, I mean, the hollow points, are they worth it? They're more ammo, and they do nearly twice the damage. However, they do make the target's armor class +3. So I don't really know if they're worth it. Maybe they are, I really don't know. I know they say standard load isn't for every road and all that, but still. What have we got here? 25mm grenades. Oh, yes. Definitely. Now, these 5.56 rounds are expensive. I wouldn't have thought they would have been because they're just 5.56s. It's a very common round. I guess we get the armor, one armor piercer, couple of hollow points. I mean, I guess we can test them. 5mm rounds. Nah. I mean, sure, actually. Use those for the minigun. BBs, no thank you. Rockets? Don't really want any rockets. I don't know what you use the rockets for. I mean, yes, obviously a rocket launcher, but I don't think you had rockets in Fallout 3. You just had missiles for the missile launcher. Not really sure, to be honest. Can we make anything here? Can recycle some stuff. So recycle those. And we shall recycle that. 76 flamer fuel for free, essentially. No reason not to. 55 energy cells. Electron charge packs. Sure. It's annoying it kicks you out that menu every time. Oh, there we go. That's how we upgrade the gun to Fido. Right. We have to do it ourselves. Well, let's do it. Oh, no. No. That was almost stupid, my friends. We don't want to upgrade that one. We want to upgrade the one without the mods. Because unfortunately, the you can't use the mods on Fido. Now, where it is? There she blows. Let's have a little fiddle, shall we? Now, I believe you guys, again, especially James, actually, you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is all the unique weapons then. No. We want to make one. There we go. Now, I'm hoping it didn't use the one that we've modified. If it did, that would be sucky. So there's Fido. No, it didn't. Good. See, because that is doing... What's the DPS on that weapon? 303, and it's battered. DPS on that is 256, and the damage, and the condition, I should say, is much higher. Look at that. It looks cool being red and having a picture of a good old bulldog on the front. But, yeah, probably not going to use this weapon just because it's just not as good. And I was very disappointed when I found out that Fido isn't as good as that. I know, buddy, I know. Maybe we'll use him eventually. I mean, never say never. Never say never. Okay. What else can we make at the bench? Overcharge. Right. So, ooh, stim packs. Bottle cap mine. Can we not make just normal stim packs? Oh, they're down here for some reason. Brock flour. Okay, so we need Brock flowers. That's good to know. Let's drop all of our useless junk in here. Miscellaneous. You know, is it even worth making our own stim packs? Actually would be something I don't know. Is it worth making stim packs? I mean, technically we can get them for free, but I don't know. We're probably just going to buy them, to be honest. We need the money. So might as well just sell this other stuff. As nice as it is to think that maybe these things might be worth taking with us, I really don't think they will be. Not that we really get a lot of money for doing that. Anywho, right, so Doc, do me up.
You require some additional...
Yes, I'd like your services. Give me a basic physical. Now we're healthy as a mule. Right, now let's go confront these arseholes. Dr. Klein awaits. Make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. Okay, this is a little on the old ominous side.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain. Now you and I are going to settle things. You may have noticed the pacification field is down. Guess what happens now?
A fight? I've never been in a fight. What do I... Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert! We are under attack!
Panic! Panic, you bastards. Right, this is long overdue. I'm going to enjoy this. Carl Barry, let's get rid of these flying turds. They're tough, actually.
The power of science!
Really? The power of science? I'm still waiting for a demonstration of this power of science. Well, unfortunately, this isn't going overly well. Okay, right. Well, oh god, look at our health drain away. Oh god. Actually, that is what we want, and we want to go here, and we want to go to that, and Stimpaks. Alright, come on, Klein. Oh, wow. That is good. Come on, you. You're next. Dr. 8, you have been marked for death. There we are. Dr. Boris, I'm sorry, my friend. You do that. Let's gang up on it. I love to see you gang up on me. Come on, Barry. Exact your revenge. Oh, poor Delia. She actually had some promise. Right. Destroyed. Okay. Not 100% sure that was super necessary, but we did what we had to do, goddammit. You know, let's just take all of their stuff. Meeting people. Ah. What else you got for me? I don't think they really had anything that useful in these boxes, did they? Terps? No, not really. Well, they had what was coming to them. Had to happen. They were a little bit on the old crazy side, to be fair. Although I am kind of curious to see what would happen if we killed Mobius. Perhaps I shall look that up on YouTube. Take the scientific glove. Okay, now can we have our brain back? Or do we actually have our brain back now? I'm pretty sure we needed surgery. Oh, hello.
Years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The Courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others.
I see.
Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
What a shame.
The Courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
True.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success.
Yes.
These failures didn't bother him over much. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The
Yes.
sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
Aw.
The biological research station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours.
I love it.
The garden sent back a polite refusal,
Aw.
saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
Oh.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip.
Maybe it
And
was.
the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt.
I see.
Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant,
Really?
and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
I see.
The thing continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose.
Really?
It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
Oh, good.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts.
I see.
After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub.
Oh.
Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village.
Oh.
It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving.
You rebel, Muggy.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910.
Really?
If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches.
Uh-huh.
Although he forgot their names once too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
I see.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city.
Yes.
In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
Ah, interesting.
As the courier ran through the X8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was. or even what a high school was.
Makes sense.
This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
Well,
The
okay.
infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after the stealth suit had left it without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology.
Oh.
It eventually found Repcon HQ and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
Okay.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the
Yes.
courier's brain was more clever than most.
The think tank basement, filled with the lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome.
I
The
see.
courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future,
I see.
for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
I see.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, old world blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
Really?
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future.
I
There
see.
was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one.
I see.
The Sync sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Interesting. Okay. That kind of just carried on, didn't it? But that was kind of interesting as well. You've lost the brainless perk. You've gained the big brain perk. Your brain is back in your body, but some of the advanced technologies remain. Your head still cannot be crippled. Ooh. But you're only 10% more... 10% more resistant to addiction now. Surprisingly, your damage threshold has improved by 10%. Nice. You've acquired the Big Mountain Transportal Ponder. It's capable of transporting you and you alone between the Mojave and the Mojave Wasteland and the Big Mountain. To return to the Mojave or go back, simply equip the Transportal Ponder as you would any weapon, pull the trigger and away you'll go. Note that it won't work in interiors or in combat situations, and it's totally incapable of harming your enemies. Jesus! Alright, calm down. Bloody hell. Alright, calm down chaps. Jesus. Right, now. We should stop playing because we've been going for 40 odd minutes. What quests do we have left to do? Right. Well, I guess that's next on our hit list. I suppose we're not quite done with this place yet. So guys, when we come back, Alright, Jesus Christ. The hell's the matter with you? He needs to be dropped in a bathtub by the sounds of things. Right, so anyway, when we come back, we're going to go look for some upgrades. Thanks for watching guys, and until next time.